Alright, Derrick Rose traded to the New York Knicks. Now, Derrick Rose, former MVP, why would Chicago trade him? He's from Chicago. He's the heart and soul of that team. Brings so much merchandise, money into the team. So many Derrick Rose jerseys I see around. They're going to lose so much money in sales, Chicago. This is an awful trade. I don't know what management is doing, but oh my God. Derrick Rose traded to the New York Knicks for trash. No disrespect to the players involved in the trade, but absolute trash. I mean, come on. Jose Calderon, Grant, Robin, Lopez. Listen, Lopez is a nice piece. He is a starting center. He's a nice above average starting center, but really, for Derrick Rose, I mean, Derrick Rose had a phenomenal second half of the year. He was a top 10 point guard during the second half of the season. Derrick Rose gets traded. I don't know what Gar Forman and management is doing there. They have to leave. First, they fired Tom Thibodeau. Then they hired this coach that's supposed to bring them a championship, Fred Hoiberg. He brought them to non-playoff contention. And what was it, like 8 straight years they were in the playoffs for? Chicago even gives up a second round pick. Like, are you kidding me? And they give up Justin Holiday, which he has some good potential. Yes, they get Grant in the trade also, but really, for Derrick Rose, Holiday, and a second round, why on earth would Chicago add a second round pick? If anything, the Knicks should be adding picks. First, they trade they didn't trade. They bench Fred Hoiberg benches Joakim Noah, the heart and soul of that team, and then they trade another heart and soul of the team. If you're in the Chicago arena and you hear from Chicago, Derrick Rose is starting point guard, it is so loud in Chicago. They go nuts when his name is announced. They basically suck the souls out of all Chicago fans. Completely. Like, suck the soul out of them. They got no heart, no nothing. Now, what's Chicago going to do? Are they going to go into full rebuild mode? Trade Jimmy Butler next year? Have this year's lottery pick or whatever that they get for Jimmy Butler? Him starting. Who is it? Nikola Mirotic at the 4, Lopez at the 5, Grant as starting point guard, Jose Calderon right behind him, Doug McDermott at shooting guard, and Tony Snell. I'm sorry, he has to go. Tony Snell is if he's starting next year, my God, this team Chicago. What's gonna happen? They are going in such a bad direction. All started with the firing of Tom Thibodeau. Management has to go. Jerry Reinsdorf has to man up and fire Gar Forman. I mean, I'm not much of a fan with John Paxson, but first Gar Forman has to go. He is the worst GM in sports history, period. Worst GM. First of all, you don't make a trade last year at all, and you're like, our team is good enough for title contention. Cavs said our team is good enough for title contention. What do? They go out, get Timothy Mozgov. They go out, get J.R. Smith. They go out, get Iman Shumpert. Listen, Gar Forman has to go. Worst trade of NBA history. Maybe not the worst trade of NBA history, but the worst trade of Chicago history. They trade Derrick Rose for absolute trash. The only decent piece in that trade is maybe Robin Lopez, or some people could argue maybe Grant because of his potential. Come on, stop it. You're trading a former MVP. He had an awesome second half of the year. I think he averaged like 18 points a game, like 7 assists, or 6.5 assists. That was a nice second half of the year. Well, that's going to do it, period. Worst trade of NBA history, and Gar Forman has to go. Good luck to Derrick Rose and the Knicks. Bye.